minutes and then we'll start. So how was your weekend? Did anyone attend interviews? I know few team members attended interviews. Anyone else? One or two attended interviews. How many of you have attended interviews over the weekend or on Friday? No one attended. Okay, starting my screen share. Let me know once you're able to see it. Can you see it?
Yes, Vajra.
Okay. So I just want to have a quick introduction with the new team members. So we have Ramana, Sai Kumar is from previous team, Neha, um, Athira, Anila, Kalinga is from previous team, Shravya. Hello everyone. Can you guys unmute and talk for 2 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Vajrang. This is Shravya.
Yep. Hi Shravya.
Yeah. Hi. So I have 6 years of experience
Mm-hmm.
in IT company, and
Mm-hmm.
it's in ETL developer role.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to cross my stage and learn UiPath and go forward as a UiPath developer.
Welcome to the team,
Yeah.
Shravya.
Thank you.
What
Yeah.
about others?
Hi Gulshan, hi everyone.
Yep.
Uh,
Hi.
so I'm Anila and I've worked before as a technical support engineer and now I'm looking for a career switch into RPA.
Okay. What about others? Guys, please speak. Speak, speak. This is the first session. You shouldn't be this silent.
Hello, it's Neha.
Neha, hi.
And I'm new there, and also I'm starting my career. Yeah.
Your voice is not clear, Neha. But yeah, thank you so much. So, okay, fine. Let's get started. Let's get started with this last week's project. So, I just want to add some complexity for the project, and we will try to discuss in or we'll try to create some use case for ourselves. But see, while creating this use case, I need the following things to be adhered. This is 28th. So members who are from the September team, these notes will not be available for you, and these recordings will not be available for you. These are view only sessions for you till you get started. But for you, things will be repeated, so you can get it over there. But try to understand how, as a team, we are currently working on, and how we are making some progress. Okay. So, Tim, this is what I want. I need a project that should have data service, UiPath data service. Sorry. So, UiPath data service. Next, APIs integration. UiPath storage buckets. Okay. So these three components, we need to create a project. So can anyone give any idea? Like you just want to add some details, pick somewhere and post it somewhere. Just let's see. Any ideas? Satish, Chetan, Krishna, Kaling. Since this is the last week, I just want to have some advanced topics. And don't worry, though you create the topic, we'll be working on data services and storage buckets. So these are kind of new things that we can learn, and even in the interviews, if someone asks you, you'll be able to understand and answer them properly. But what can be a use case? See, data service is the main purpose of data service is to store structured data. Okay, so you can use it as a database, and API, call APIs, call information or post information, get information or post information using APIs. And storage buckets is used to store files, not in a tabular format, store pure files like txt, xlsx. It can be any format. Images also can be done. So yes, now tell me. Hello.
So, Vajrang, is
Yeah.
it like extracting some JSON from API, then
Mhm.
s- uh, just structured it and
Okay,
probably
let me write it. Okay, get data from JSON. Okay, then so I will also tell what is JSON if you are not aware of what is JSON and what is APIs. We'll also discuss that, but we'll first try to create the use case, then we will discuss and work on it. Okay, get JSON, and then what can we do? Format JSON, store values in storage in data service. Okay, create files in what, in storage buckets. So will this cover all our requirements? Yes or no? Come on. It's Monday morning and you are so silent. Okay, I will tell you what is the manual process that we can think of, and API UiPath. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Let's post that inside YouTube. Okay, so this is what we are going to see, API projects, but I will be dealing with something different completely. So just go ahead and check. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Feature pressed, yeah. Okay, so I'll be using random user API. Okay, so in random user API, whenever I try to get or whenever I refresh the data, I will get new information. Can you see? Can you observe this one? Okay, my requirement is I'll go to my UiPath orchestrator. Yes, continue with Microsoft. And by the way, I designed this particular app using Power Apps, sorry, UiPath apps completely. The complete website is being designed in apps. So, yeah. If you want to go ahead and give it a try, just go ahead and give it a try. This is also available in UiPath forum. Okay, so here is my information, and if you see here, we have storage buckets and we have data service as well. So data service is available over here. Okay, and here you go. So do you know what is an entity?
No.
So entity is a table. You can take empty entity as a table. Okay, I'm just trying to create new users. Okay, and this users will contain edit cancel. So by default, UiPath data service will have ID as a unique item, created by whom and updated by whom, create time and updated time, and we'll have information like this is just a data table, but instead of storing that in the Excels, we'll be storing that in the data service and storage buckets. So I'll just create something. So when I make an API call, I'm getting something like this name. I'll just go ahead and save it as name, email ID, and let's see, can I get phone number? Yeah, name, email ID, and cell number. Okay, so I just want few details. What is it? Name. So we just need to mention what type of detail is it. So is name a text or anything else? Is it a text?
Test was, yeah.
Exactly, text. And then let's give it out required. So it means that we need to have name, and what are the other things? Name, email ID, and cell. Only three will keep. Add data, sorry, create new field, email, and this is also of type text. Create new field, and this is type cell. Okay, so let's create it. Since we are having some brackets and all, let's give it out as text required. So for example, if I want to create, or if I want to create a user, I need to do something like this. I just need to copy Mr. Dal. Let's go ahead and create data. So name, it's Mr. Dal, and then this one, and then this email ID, and whatever I'm trying to do manually, this should be done by robot. Save. Okay, this is saved. We'll just add one more detail in this particular item, but if you see here, the data is generated. Can you see? So this is just tabular information we are trying to store, but we are directly storing that in orchestrator. So what can be the use of data service? Let's say, for example, if we want to store any kind of tabular information, now every time we need to make a SQL server connection, or we need to store some information somewhere. Instead of using a third-party application, if we have data service, then we will be able to store it directly in our orchestrator, and retrieving data will be easier for us. So that is the use of data service. And one more thing, we need to store these things. Okay, this is the picture that's coming up. This is men, and if you see here, medium and thumb. So this is medium. So these are the different versions of the same picture. Okay, so now what I should do, I need to either store the information, but if we just store the values, then what will be the use? There will be no use, right? So instead of that, what I will do, I need to go ahead and store them inside my orchestrator, inside my storage buckets. See, we are just trying to utilize the things here. It's not like, okay, you need to do a project only like this, but we are trying to utilize things here. Add storage bucket. So other than UiPath orchestrator, we also have Azure storage bucket and Amazon. So if you want to store files somewhere else, and if you want to integrate them, you will be able to integrate. Okay, and this one will just give it as general details. So what details can we give here? This is profiles, profile pics. Okay, and then just add. Okay, now this profile pics, I can upload a file. Let's just see if I can do this. So this is my file. I'll just save it, save images. I'll just save it to my local machine. Downloads, browse bucket. So I'll upload a new file, browse, downloads, select. So this is my file, upload. Okay, so now I need to link this particular path, like whatever the path that it's having, like 76, right? I just need to link it in this particular bucket so that I can have a map. Like this is the particular user, and this is the particular image that we are having for profile pics. So let's go back to storage buckets. Where is this data service? We'll also add image path. Users, let's create a new field. We can also create a new field, image path. Okay, and it's required. Save. So in data, I can just go ahead and update it. Image path 76. Okay. Did you understand the use case? Yes or no?
Yes, Vajra.
What about others?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are just trying to
Yes.
extract the information and we are trying to store it in two different places. But the file, see one thing, you can also store files here. Like you can just add file here and I can just click on save and I can do that. But if we do it completely over here, then we will not be able to understand or use that storage bucket. So just try to use it. Okay. But what is the ideal scenario for storing storage buckets? See, ideal scenario for using storage buckets are, for example, let's say that this particular shared folder is having a project, and that particular project need to have a config file and or some kind of information or some kind of dynamic data, and we cannot publish it or we cannot store it in my local machine because every time someone can open it or someone can download it or someone can change it. But if I have it directly in my storage bucket, this files will be logged. I can have a clear log of who did what. Let me just show you. Admin. Yeah. So in my admin, let's see if I have, okay, internal applications audit logs. So here I just have logins for now, but I can also have, where is this? Services, licenses, settings. Okay, this is the one. Settings, advanced resource center is not required. Let's go back. Let's go back to home. Maybe here, let's see if there are logs. Automate with UiPath. Monitoring is for jobs. Settings. Okay, I'm not able to find the exactly where it is, but if you want, you can go ahead and just try. Maybe you can, tomorrow we'll discuss, or you can go ahead and check out where we can have the logs specifically for this. Manage links. Okay, and one more feature that you can have is this particular storage bucket, you can link it to multiple folders. So if I have 3 or 4 folders and I have a password file in the storage bucket that should be accessed to multiple resources, I can add it or I can share it with multiple resources. Okay. Cancel, cancel. Okay, now, so what is the first step that we need to do? So this is my automation. And what is the first step for this particular process?
First, we'll call API call
Krishna, it's
to the
been
Excel.
3 weeks, buddy. You are going with the code again.
Yes, well,
Mhm. Anyone, any other way?
In the storage bucket.
Sorry, Shravya?
Save the image in the storage bucket.
No, I'm asking you, how will you create in a solution? Like if this is a project that a user is asking you to create, what are the steps that you do? Go with uh, go with the life cycle.
Oh, okay. Creation of documents or understand the uh, project and if it can be automated or not. First, discuss on that.
Okay. So let's go with the life cycle analysis. Okay, next documentation, next coding, testing, deployment, support. Okay, now in the analysis phase, so what are the questions or what do we need to create here?
First, to understand the requirement, if it can be automated or not.
But
Uh,
how will you do that? What documents or what are the things that you use to make sure, okay, that this, to tell that this particular process can be automated? Chetan, Satish, you should answer. Kaling, Krishna.
Can I try?
Yeah, so do one thing. New members, instead of trying, just go ahead and add it in the chat. That will be easier for me. Is the chat access available for you all or not?
No.
No? Okay, go ahead and tell me. What do you need to do?
So should it be as is document?
Yes, that's correct. As is process flow. Then
The to be process flow?
okay. But this will be coming in the documentation phase, right? While creating PDDs and STDs. Okay, fine. Let's understand that we are creating PDDs and STDs before, after creating as and to be. Okay. Now, with this process, can we create a performer and dispatcher to our solution? Can we create a performer and dispatcher for our
Yes, yes, we
requirement?
can create.
yes.
Yes, we can create.
Okay. So in this as flow, so let's just understand what are the steps in this as process flow. First one, make API call. Make API call. Shall we go on mute, please? Okay. Format JSON. Okay. Store JSON or store information. Store profile pic in storage bucket. Okay. Store profile details in users data service. So this is what we will do. So this is as is process flow. So what is to be process flow? You're saying that we can create this in dispatcher. So how can we create this in dispatcher? Performer. What do we need to add in dispatcher and what do we need to add in performer?
Till storage bucket, it would be in dispatcher. We will be storing those.
Wrong.
And
Shravya.
We can make API call in dispatcher.
Okay. And what about formatting JSON?
Uh, for in dispatcher only, format JSON.
Okay. Then what we should do in dispatcher?
Store profile pic in storage bucket.
Satish, your voice broke.
Store profile picture in a storage bucket.
If you store profile picture in storage bucket, what will you do in Performer?
Okay.
Give me one more way to do it. So first thing you missed is we need to add details to orchestrator queue. Should we do it or not?
Rest we can.
Okay. Next here, what happens in Performer? So for people who are not able to understand what is dispatcher and Performer, just take an example like dispatcher is a person. Like I can be a dispatcher. I gave everyone a work to join today's meeting, and you as an individual person, you attended this meeting. Like everyone has their own task. They need to sit and work, or they need to attend the meeting and check with the notes. So you all are performers, or you can say you all are making the same activity, but I am giving that activity for you. Okay, so that is dispatcher process and this is performer process. Only thing is everything is code, or everything is a process, is a step in a process, but we are trying to make sure that it is at a structured or structured format. Okay, can we just make a get one queue item? Okay, so after we get a queue item, what we need to do?
Store profile pic in storage bucket.
Okay,
And the data service. Details.
okay, and add user details, profile details to users data service. So how much time do you think this complete project will take? Like if you go only with the code, how much time will it take? Not with documentation at all. Just tell me a number, 1 day, 2 day, 3 days.
Three to 4 days.
Most probably,
Close one.
but if you ask me, I can complete it within next 20 minutes. Simple. Okay, let's just go into the code. UiPath Studio. Things are simple, but the way how you manage or how you create will make a difference. We'll be doing the same project first in linear process, then we will go with RE framework. Okay. Open local project. UiPath. Let me just go with webinar, git space, RP developer in 30 days. Strong August projects. So time is 9/7 for me. Let's see. Augustine. What happened? Project files open. Augustine. Git space. Redundant summary. Just Just a second, I just need to move few things out so that this will be correct. Yeah, this should be removed. Okay, before add new folder. Okay, so this is a small side project that I have created. If you want, you can go ahead and give it a shot. So we are having teams, right? In the meetings there will be times or like time spans, and we are going to, or we are working with, to check how many members have attended the meeting and what's the time that they have attended. So this is my project. Let's open. And for the new members, we will be working Git and to maintain repos, and you will also be, you should also do the same, but just check on how we are collaborating within all the other team members. Okay guys, just go ahead and make a pull request, sorry, make a fetch request. The code is updated. Okay, can you see the screen clearly?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, new folder. I'll give you some pointers like what are the new changes that happened in the latest version of UiPath. But just let's just add folder, random user creation, automation. Okay, so let's just add a sequence for it. I will just add a flowchart. Create user. So for now, I will just create without orchestrator. I will just create items directly in the, directly making an API call. So how to make an API call? Go to activities, manage packages, search for UiPath.web. So these are the activities that we need to use to make API calls. UiPath web. Where is UiPath web? Let's just see dot web. Yeah, web APIs, install and save. So see, we are using browser to make or to view the result, or to make a HTTP call, or to, like, we are just calling a website, right? But without using a browser, if we need to call any website or if we need to call information, we need to use HTTP activities. Yeah, so this is the user URL that I'll use, JSON. So which one should I create first? Should I create the profile picture or upload the profile picture first, or should I go ahead and create the data details first? According to you, what is correct? Okay, so we'll discuss on that later, but see, this endpoint URL is the URL that is available here, and in the organization, people who are coming to you to give an automation solution or requesting for automation solution, they will give you this URL. So all these URLs will be given for you. You just need to consume them. And here, this is different types of authentication. Simple authentication uses a username and password. We need to give username and password over here. OAuth 1 requires a consumer key secret, access token, and access token secret, and OAuth 2 need an access token. So all these details again will be given by your business users, so there is no need for you to clearly remember them. We need to use a get request. So when we are getting a request, it means that we are requesting some information from somewhere and we are accessing the information. When we are doing a post request, it means that we are sending an information. For example, I need to create a new file in my storage bucket. So UiPath Studio will send a post request to orchestrator. Okay, delete will actually delete. So these all are called verbs: delete, get, post, put. So I haven't used patch and merge many times. The most usaged or used items are get, post, and delete. So for this particular item, let's go ahead and accept response. So what type of response is it giving here? If you see, is it a text format or a JSON format?
JSON.
Okay, now the question is, how many of you know what is JSON? Don't talk, just give me the reaction. On the top there are reactions, right? Just go ahead and if you know it, just give it out a thumbs up. If you don't know it, give it out a heart symbol. Do you know what is JSON and what are the properties of JSON or not? Chetan knows it.
No, I don't know.
Okay, Adira. What about others? Shravya? Come on. If you delay the response, the training
Don't
will
know
be
that's
extended. Okay, fine. So see, JSON is information that can be sent from one application to other application. Let me give you an example. A better example that you can understand is, so let's go with the Google Flights or okay. So when I search for Google Flights, okay. Now when I make a request, this you can take it. For example, you can also take an example of Book My Show and Paytm. Okay, so I need to travel from Hyderabad to New Jersey or New York. Okay, and I'm searching. Now can you see there are various companies or various organizations providing me the details, like the ticket details? Can you see them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now will Google maintain these values or who will maintain this value? Who will maintain these values?
Organizations,
Which organizations?
respective, like whatever the, let's say Air India is there, so there he'll be updating those timings, flight timings, at the same time the prices as well.
Exactly. See, Google is a service or which is showing us a collaborated text from various services. So
Yeah,
Google,
aggregation.
yeah, so Google cannot maintain Air India data. Google cannot maintain Qatar data. Google cannot maintain Osman Air's. But what it is trying to do, whenever I make a call from here, it is asking all these websites, give me information from Hyderabad to New York on these specific dates. And when it makes a request at the back end, it will get some response like this. This response is something a keyword based response. that can be understood by developers on how to fetch the information. So if you go with one more information, let me just take one more API call. API calls. So okay, so this is rapid API calls. Okay, so see here, this is my application, that is Google, and this is making a API call to a different application. So in our case, we need to just make sure that whenever there is a data elsewhere, the data can be retrieved much faster because there is no UI. Okay, so it gives me only text format of information, but it will be in a structured format. Let's see what is the structure. The structure is always, for this particular random user, the structure is always, it will have results. Okay, and it will have how many results? It will have only one result, and it will have only one page. And in this result, I have gender, name, email, and sir. So if I know the structure, I will be able to get the values from this particular structure. Okay, so when a different organization or someone is giving you the API, they will also give you what is the structure that they need to follow. Now, did you understand, or are you able to connect the dots or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Guys, please answer faster. We have only 10 more minutes. Okay, let's see.
Yes.
Authentication as none because there is no authentication. Let's make it for. So when you see here, you can see the response status has completed. 200 says that. So there are multiple response codes. We'll deal with it later. But whenever you see 200, it means that the response is successful. And this is the raw body, and this is the previous preview of the details. So let's hit on OK. So I made a HTTP call, and after making a HTTP call, I need to use few activities. One of the activity is JSON parse, deserialize JSON. Okay, and why do we need to use deserialize JSON? Because whenever it sends the information, it sends in a text format, or HTTP output will always be text. If you see in the output of properties, let's go properties. So the details are already available in the designer section, so I can go ahead and check it out. So these are the new updates that came in the latest version of UiPath, and here you can see what is the, I'm getting an API, making an API call, and the output can be somewhere here. Output response content, this one, str content. Okay, now let's just go ahead and see. Okay, now this is response status and response headers. I can leave it for now, but the ideal scenario is I make a call and I get a value from it. Okay, so but when we use deserialize JSON, I can get as str. So where is this output? Variables, str content, this JSON variables, str content, use variables. So what is the variable that we have? Str content, show advanced objects. So whenever you see what type of data type, what data type should you create, this will automatically show here. You can also use control K, and with control K you can use str, or sorry, JSON, J object of user details. Okay, so this is my J object. So done, I completed a HTTP call and I got the value. Let's see some result from here. So I can just go ahead and keep a log message adds over here, and let's see what log message can we give. Just remember the format that we need to take. See, everything is in home, so this is what we have now, an object. Now if we need to open this one, and we need to go to results, and in results we have an array, and array will be indexed with 0 indexes. Now in 0th index I have some more details, that is gender, name and all. So let's see one by one. Message, so log message, what I can give is j object user details of, so what is the value that I need to give? Key. So for every key there is a value over here, results dot toString. Okay, let's go ahead and debug it. See, we are not rushing, we are just trying to fetch some value and show it in the output. That's it. Okay, now can you see that when I added j object of user details of result, this is the value that I got. Okay, it's with slash n, but the ideal scenario is this one, gender, female, name, everything. So here what do we need? We need name, right? Out of all these values, is it right or not?
Yes.
But to get the name, this is in an array, so if I want the array values, I need to pass in 0th index. Okay, now let's just go ahead and run. Let's see, we have an object here, array symbol. Now if you see, we will have only object but not the array symbol. Output, there is no square bracket. Now we need to go inside this one. So inside this one, if we want to go here, again we need to, this is not an array, so we can directly give name as a value. So we can give something like this, go to 0 and then go to name. Okay, let's see what will we get. Debug again. So are you able to understand how we are traversing from root till the exact value? If you are able to understand, just give it out a
Yes.
thumbs up.
Yes.
Okay, now we got all the values, but out of those values we have only title, first name and last name. So this is our required data, right? This is what we need. Miss first name, Miss Herminia Banks. But if you observe, these details are like, I have title, first name and last name, but I just want Miss Herminia Banks as a single value. So how can I do that? I'll just assign username for it. I'll keep a assign statement. Let's add activities. I'm not sure why the bloody hell the new version is not giving me a plus symbol. That's fine. Assign and let's see. In this assign, let's go take it to top. Okay, so auto format, I can use auto arrange. So this one, let's give it out as Control K, username. Okay, for one user, let's keep it out these particular value, user name, but I will not add it to string. Let's see what is the value. So this is a J token, username. I'll just change this to J token. browse j token. Okay, how did I get j token? Because if I just added that value without toString, it's shown me an error. It cannot implicitly convert it to a string. So that is the reason I have given. Let's see if this error gets changed. J object user details. Where is this one? Username j token. Okay, now in this j token I can easily get the values, something like this one. Okay, username of, what is the key? Let's see with the keys. So we have title, first name and last name. Title, username dot title dot toString plus I'll just copy the same value, paste and paste. Control Shift T to open the big. Control Shift T. Okay, this is title, this is first name, and this is last. Okay, and okay, I don't need a concatenation at the end, I can remove it. Let's just see the result, or let's just see the value, what we will get. What is the expected result? Will we get an object again? What will we get?
String.
Yes, one single string is what we'll get. Let's see the output. Can you see here?
Yes.
But the problem here is it's not having spaces. Okay, so what I can do is Control Shift E. Let's just add some spaces and then plus space plus. Now this is done. So without wasting further time, I will just do one more thing. Now I got what? I got the name, but email I can directly get it, right? There is no object for here. I need not concat nor add any values. I can just get the email. So what is the value? Object dot results of 0 of email. So this is what I need, and I already have these values from here. So I'll just go ahead and assign, copy and assign auto arrange. So this is for properties. Okay, this is username token. Okay, but if you want to have the username, then can I write something like this? This one, let's just change this one to username j token. We'll just use 5 more minutes and I'll make it fast. str username. Okay, and then let's also add some value over here. So assign, I'll just add one more assign in between, and this one will be str username, and whatever log message I have, I will just add it over there. Control A, Control X, here goes str username, and this value goes in here. So all I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to auto arrange. Okay, so str username I have created, and here this should be changed. Not sure why it did not change. So this is not username, this is j token username. Okay, This should be automatically changed, but somehow it did not change. Okay, username, this is done. Now this one, just give it out as str email id. So I can just go ahead and give it out like this, right? Email id is not an object, it's a string. Can you observe that email id is a string value? There is no brackets. So I can just give, instead of name, just give me email. Okay, but the only thing that I need to do is at the end I just need to add .toString. Okay, after I add it, then what's the other thing that I need? Cell number. So cell also is available on the parent. So let's just add one more item. This one is control K str cell. Now this value goes in like this one, cell. Group auto arrange. Okay, auto arrange. Okay, now I have all the values. Let's keep a breakpoint over here and let's see with the debug panel. Debug. Okay, so Miss Ellie Carroll, we got the name correctly, but instead of seeing that in logs, let's see it here. That's in locals. So what is the username? Come on, unmute and talk. You can talk.
Misleading. Hold on.
Can you see the email ID? But we
Yes.
don't have cell number. Why? Why did not have the cell number?
So we haven't
We
executed it.
haven't executed.
Yep, that's right. So we haven't executed. Let's go ahead. So this is my cell number. So done. So continue. I got it done. So now only one thing that I need to do here. So if I go back to my, where is this one? Storage bucket. Sorry, I'll go to my data service. So users, what do I require? Name, email ID, cell, image path. So for now, for this current activity, I'll just use image path also directly from here. I will not create it. I will not upload it to storage bucket. I will just use it over here. I'll just create it. So how can I get the image URL? So image URL is simple, picture and then large. So I need to go to picture and then large. So let's just add image as well. str image path, control K, str image path. Okay, and this goes somewhere like this. Instead of cell, we need to have picture and large. Today we'll just close till here and we will upload it to data storage. Then tomorrow we'll see how can we use storage buckets and how can we download the files. Okay, now here to use storage buckets, we need to use data storage activities. Design, manage entities. So if you can see here, there is manage entities. These are my entities. Okay, users, Google menu, and this one. I just need this entity, save. So I'm installing the entities. I'm creating a link for my project to the website or to the data storage. Okay, so this will be available on this particular place, entities Augustine. Can you see August got updated?
Yes.
Entities with users. Okay, now this users is having my information. Install a package. These are the data service activities that we need to use. It's taking its own time. Yeah. Okay, so after completing this activity, then let's go ahead and see data service activities. So here if you see, we can create records, create multiple entity records, we can create multiple values. But here if you see, there is something called data manager. In this data manager, we will be able to see few other values. This is added up in the latest version of UiPath 2022.8 version. This is a beta release, by the way. So create an entity record. Yes, double click. Input record. UiPath data service. Browse for types. Okay, this is my data type. Input record and output record we have. So let me just create a new entity record. Assign. So why am I not getting this one? Assign. I'll just create a new data row. Entity record. Control K. New. Go with new. Space. Data services. Where is my data service? User. Where is my data service? Let's just follow the docs. Whenever I don't know anything, UiPath data service, create record. Yeah. So getting started, hosting model, creating entities, examples, view all. Yes. Customizing entity choice sets, using entities in projects. Okay. 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 Create a record. Yes. Create entity record, input record and output record. But before that, we need to give input and output values. Okay. Let's create a entity here. So what is the format? In underscore year, in underscore Olympics. Okay, let's see Olympics. Create user entity, and this is of type. And see here, till now we have used specific types like string or data table and all that, but this will be of type browse types user entity. This will be of type Olympics, right? So let's search with user. that will be the details. So can you see here, data service August users? Can you see this entity or not?
Yes.
Why? How can we identify that this is our entity? Just go with this one, August team we are in, and you are going with users. Okay, and here we'll go ahead and create new user entity. Yes, user entity is equal to new space user entity. Okay, I can just create a entity. Maybe just go ahead and add the values. Where is it? Create entity records, dot workflow. Okay, new Olympics. Just go ahead and add the value. This one, user entity, this again changed, users. Okay, this is new user entity now, new users. This is my users group. Okay, so once I create it, I need to assign the values to this particular item. So let's use a multi-assign, multiple assign, and let's just add this value to this one. So we created a new entity first, then we are going to assign the values. So I can just use multiple entities directly. User entity, that's equal to new user entity, new user, and here user entity dot, if I just give a dot notation, it will tell me what are the details. User entity dot name equal to str username, user entity again, user entity dot cell is equal to str cell. So we are doing a mapping here. User entity dot create, where is this one? Email, right? Email equal to str email. Did you understand what did we do or not? Here I can just remove this user entity and I can just use this multi-assign directly. Did you understand this activity or not? Please tell.
Yes.
So we are creating a new object. In that new object, we are assigning the values, whatever we have generated. So here, let's just add yes user entity and output record, out record entity, out record entity. Okay. So this is not mandatory, but input is mandatory. Save all documents fail. Okay, save this one. Violates the constraint of type T entity. Create entity record Y. This one, okay. So here we just need to change the type to this particular entity. Entity is a table again. Now just save. So what is the expected output? So what is the expected output? Did it stop somewhere? Okay, encountered identity to users. Where is this particular error? Debug file. Let's see. Validation error. Create entity record. Okay. Output. Out record. This should be users. That was the error, I guess. Yeah, debug. Since we changed the entity type, the error popped up. Okay. I think there is a breakpoint. Focus. Continue. Remove the breakpoint. Continue. It's an image path. So what is the error over here? Can anyone tell?
Written image path is wrong.
Yes, so what is the correct path? It should be picture and large, not picture and picture. So here image path, Control Shift S. Let's run the file. I hope all the errors are done. We still have one more error. Create entity record, insert data, failed. Required image path. Okay, I did not add image path. Okay, now just did you understand, if we are not, so if there is a proper format that must be given, and if user is not giving all the required details, it's always throwing errors. It will not continue to complete the activity. So it will always be bounded to the exact requirement. Image path. Let's go ahead and give it a run again. So even if you make some errors, normally what will happen in data tables and all, it will not throw where exactly the exception is. It will just throw that there is error in this particular SN statement. But using data entities and all, you will be able to exactly identify, because this is a structured format. Okay. Did we get the values? Yes or no?
Yes, we get values.
Now, if I just want to run this again and again, what should I do? I'll just take this one to the top. I'll just add it to HTTP again. Okay, now will this be an endless loop or not? Okay, this is showing me. So if you see here, these are the validations that UiPath is doing by itself. It is showing that there is a potential endless loop. Okay, so I can just go ahead and debug the file. Let's see. No, this is not running. I need to turn off this particular rule somehow. Fine, let's do something like here. Maybe I'll just add a counter value. So I'll just ask message box input dialog. In this input dialog, I will ask if the user should continue or not. So here, instead of that, let's go ahead and take it here. So this is one extra activity that I'm trying to do. There is no need that you need to do the same things, but I'm just trying to showcase like how we can enhance this particular project. So this one, let's go it out and give it to this one. This one, let's go it out, go and give it to this one. Yeah, group auto arrange. What happened? This one, this, Okay, auto arrange. So this is what we have. Let's just debug the file. Let's see. Potential infinite loop. So I will go ahead and I will turn off this particular error. Go to home, settings, validations. Where are my validations in the projects? Just need to turn this off. strel006 settings. Test manager is workflow analyzer. So here I can see all the maps, right? In this I can just search for description code. So what is the code? strel006 error info. So I can just ignore this error, this particular item, and then click OK. Debug. Let's see now. So UiPath asked me to check for this particular infinite loop, and I turned it off so that I can execute. Okay, continue. Yes, just hit on OK. Yep, just hit on OK. So it will be an endless loop. Let's stop it and let's see the results. Okay, and here you go with the results. Where are the results? Users. Okay, so image paths are getting added. Tomorrow our activity is, instead of adding image paths over here, we need to upload it to storage bucket and then come back and give the path over here. Okay, so can we close it for today? Did you understand our use case or not?
Yes, Vajrangtal.
Okay, now within our activities, how much part did we complete? Dispatcher, like we are making a single project, so for now profile pic, this is pending. Formatting of JSON is completed. View profile details storage, this is also completed. Okay, so tomorrow one session this will be done. Okay, and what about new team? How's the project? Is it easy? Is it tough? Are you able to understand? No, just give it out feedback. Unmute and talk. Neha says good. What about others? See, don't expect if else conditions will be taught in this particular training program. I have already taken uh, each and everyone. I have asked them to complete certification, like all the tests before joining this program. So only limited members will have the access. Okay. So Ramana and Madhu, I know you are new, but just understand this is a very small project that we have discussed in organizations. Whatever method we followed will be the same. The project use case might be different. Okay, Madhu and Ramana, are you there?
Yeah, okay, Vajrangtal.
Yeah. Just make sure you attend on time. Don't be late. And I'm
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
Ramana is not available. Don't miss out sessions. Okay. It's in the morning, right?
okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day ahead.